Now, whether it had an effect or not, that could be acceptable by any other people or their standards. When I was very young, I was told I was protected by my elders, the psychics. I said, no, this one is protected. I didn't know what that meant. But I did have a lot of experiences where I said, this was strange. Not just seeing things and hearing things, you know, but certain kind of subtle or experience. But they kept saying that well, your mission is not now. It comes later, but you're protected. So that's like a seed thought, so I didn't believe it. I had to see it for myself. And so the idea of protection is very important for people. And as in the case of Thailand and the king, yeah, it seemed like he had a certain kind of protection. So even his country was protected in a certain way. I'm not going to say because of him, but coincident with him, his presence. No, I don't know his mind, so I don't know how much he prayed or practiced, and you know, I guess you might say, requesting protection for his people, or his land, or his kingdom. I have no facts on that. But can we draw down protection? We can. So can you protect yourself? Yes, you can. That's my experience and belief. Can you violate that protection? Yes, you can. Can you recreate it? Yes, you can. Because it's always there. You have to call upon it. Ask and you shall receive in some cases. You know. If we're talking about protection, yeah. It's there. And as I grew older, when I was in the military, I had more experiences, you know, like mishaps, really crazy mishaps, accidents, yeah. Serious accidents with others. And then I managed to get through it in a certain way to remind me of what I was told. Yeah, and with a parachute accident that I had, I'm coming down upside down. Something's going on. I couldn't have created that. I would never have thought of that. But the parachute risers grabbed me by the head. They were slipping over my parachute and then flipped me upside down. And so I was coming down head first. Nice. Protection. Coincidence? Yeah, lucky day? Maybe. No, just a long stream of protection. And the protection was for me to be here and make sure I am comfortable doing good works, so-called, works that are helping other people see themselves, not see me, but see themselves. Not see me, but see their particular practice as the recreation for better of their future. So you have more protection out of your practice, minding the goodness of your heart and what comes through your heart, minding that and remembering goodness. Despite all things to the contrary, remembering basic goodness, protection. Moving into light, protection. Knowing it's here, protection. Knowing it's real, spiritual light, protection. Not believing it, you know. Not even desiring it, it's already here. There's nothing you can do about it. The fact of it is effortless. It just is, because this is light. Living light. Spiritual light. Neurosis-free light. Basic goodness.
Have your students or people who've opened to your teachings expressed a feeling of protection as a result?
No, to each their own, as far as that goes. I use the word protection. Some people say that feeling better because they practice. Right? The benefits of practice, see, stopping, letting go, and breathing more clearly. And being open to other levels beyond what your body is. See. The body is not the reality. It is real insofar as the physical reality is concerned. But there's more going on at the astral level of feelings, the causal level of memories, and the mental level of just general mechanical and maybe even higher thinking. And that's just the general. It's like the tip of the iceberg. We have the unconscious, and it's infinite levels of phenomena and information and revelation.
Did you test or challenge this notion of protection in your own life?
When I was young, yeah, absolutely. I dismissed everything my elders told me. I thought I was here like the other guys to have fun, which was true, up to a point. And so all the close calls I had on the street during the West Side Story days, and then military mishaps and accidents and near-death experiences, were part of the revelation that I was being protected for something, and with a good reason. It was to become teacher. See? I didn't know it in those terms, but I started to see the thought processes take a change for better. See? And I started to hear the inner master coming through, the inner wisdom coming through. It's like I couldn't do anything about it. It was just showing up. It was arising, it was appearing, it was manifesting. And when I would talk to my elders about it, I couldn't talk to my friends or girlfriends about it. You know, when I talked to my elders who understood the process much more clearly and absolutely, you know, perfectly, they said, no, this is part of the purification. You're being prepared for something, you know, a realization.
What role do attachment or detachment play in the sense of protection?
Depends on you. Depends on what you can say you are attached to that obstructs, you know, your path. Because of distraction. Or what you know in terms of detachment, what is clearing it for you. You have to know that because there's an effect of the detachment. It's not a higher than thou, holier than thou, anything. It's nothing to do with that. It goes right back to the basic breathing. And relaxing into the basic breathing. And allowing something, let's say, of itself to process what before was using you as a thinking being. So that thoughts are coming in, but they're not your thoughts in a certain way. It's a paradox. Your thoughts are your thoughts. Sometimes they're obstructing a higher dimension of your own thinking process. And that's keyed into, if you're a practitioner, that means you're observing all of your mechanisms and all your stuff without being swept away or overwhelmed by them. You're observing how your machinery works, how your body's functioning, how your blood is showing up, see? Your moods, how correct your thinking is and precise it is, and how you can see the future, see? And feel it. You got to get a sense of protection, see? Where you know something that you didn't know, you couldn't know before. I won't call it certainty, but it's, let's say, something true. You're not searching for knowledge, you're not searching to demonstrate. Your ability to see or hear or know things or feel things, all of it disappears. It's gone. You're just here. Very basic. You're being here and you're ordinary. You recover a real ordinariness because you're not a neurotic machine. So you're ordinary. You have to come back to hands, you know, clasped like this, joined. And so then there's more opportunity for clearness of awareness to be the case.
Does awareness of protection invoke a sense of purpose?
It could. It may not invoke anything you can think of. Besides the recognition, the cognition of the reality of what it is. And there's protection, we call it protection, it could be presence. See, intuiting the presence, protection. Knowing better, protection. Refusing distraction is protection. Saying, no, I need more simplicity, I don't need more diversity as such. You got to know what you need. So that in some cases diversity is your simplicity, in other cases it's not. It's your complexity.
So we're talking about protection at a lot of different levels here then, not necessarily physical protection.
No, that's the least of it, but that is part of it. Yes, of course, you start to feel that, right? You start to feel this sensing. I mean, we are always in danger, no question about that. We're always on the edge, man. This is life, so it's death at the same time. But you start to feel okay with being okay. And letting it be more or less handled, in a sense, by something other than yourself, yet you're right on it at the same time. And the Spirit would require you to be right up on it so it can come through. And that's abstract theory for most peeps. But it's for real for other peeps. If we have good elderly, let's say natives here, like medicine men, they said, no, that's exactly what it is. You have to set your sail up so that wind can lift you, this wind of spirit. And then they can say all things will be well if that's the case. So then there are no mistakes, but there may be hardships, but then they're not as bad as they would otherwise be perceived as when you're not on the path.
And what role does fear play in the sense of
fear is intelligence. So fear is also sacred, but it's like, you know, imaginary fear, paranoid fear. Who needs it? Could be useful. Could save your life, maybe. All right, depending on what you're exactly talking about. You get the impulses that are beyond your mind coming in from that which knows, that which knows what you can't perceive. And that's good. Because then when it shows up as proof, right, that your impulse made the right choice. Because there was danger there. You say, well, that's good. Fear, warning. Right? Psychic warning. It's good. It keeps you here for whatever time you have left to do here, and you want to make it good. You want to be here for good purpose, not just to have a good time. It's not about a good time. The fact that you're alive and you're on earth and you're living, that's the good time. Now you got to capitalize on that.